what time it is. It's your boy, Easy Work Boxing, aka the Chef. We in the building, man. I just got off work. I've been down to make this video, y'all. I have to work. Life is life. I have, but we got to go in about this. I got to tell y'all first. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. Shout out to David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, for going out there and put on a hell of a performance and defeating Caleb Plant. Shout out to Caleb Plant for going out there and put on a hell of a performance for the fans of boxing. Now, I got to say this, I was right at first. I went with David Benavidez, but I went with, what any boxing fan would go with. Skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. And, I went with the guy who I felt had more skills. But, one thing about David Benavidez, and I feel that this is why Canelo Alvarez will not fight him. David Benavidez proved that skills pay the bills, but talent, but being relentless, confident, and having a heart, can always prevail even against skills. And that's what he proved to me, in that situation of him being Caleb Plant. I hear a lot of people talking about, some people trying to give excuses for the loss for Caleb Plant. We can't do that. And I went for Caleb Plant. We're not going to take away this man glory. David Benavidez went out there and did a great job. People saying that he looked like a heavyweight. The man didn't look like no heavyweight. Now y'all know I'm not biased. I'm not even finna roll with that. I'm not rolling with that. We ain't finna do it like that. That man did not look like a heavyweight. He looked thin, just as thin as Caleb Plant. To me, the reason Caleb Plant lost, basically, at first I wanted to say he was a front runner, but then I watched the continue and said, no, Caleb Plant is not a front runner. I think him being nervous, if people ain't gonna say he was nervous, but you could tell from his movement that, he wasn't comfortable as David Benavidez. And if you ain't comfortable in there, that's gonna cause you to lose a lot of energy. He was moving a lot, jittery to me, from what I seen in the highlights. So I think that right there took a lot of his energy in the early rounds, and then also the pressure of David Benavidez coming, trying to constantly use your mind and think can tire you out. And I ain't never boxed, but I've been in street fights, and I know that, pressure like that, you have to think fast, you exert energy. But then I seen Caleb Plant at the end, his mouth wasn't open, he wasn't tired. So I was like, what is it about Caleb Plant, that makes him, look like this at the end of fights? And it's the pressure. Caleb Plant doesn't like pressure. I think it's that he can't really think in it. I see he can't really fight in the inside. He's not an inside fighter. David Benavidez, from what I seen in the highlights, was getting off real bad when it was up in close quarters. I keep hearing about the referee. I was listening to the round by round on Fight Hype, even though I didn't see the fight, and I didn't like the fact. Now I was going for Plant, but I was like, what in the hell? When Kenny Bayless pulled him to the side and let him get a break or something like that, I was like, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? PBC, you know what I'm saying? You'll never know with Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they wanted a rematch between Caleb Plant, or, you'll never know. Canelo probably pays him. That's a joke. That's a joke. But, David went out there and put on a hell of a performance, man. Like I said, David went out there and showed that, you don't have to have all the skills to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? It's hard determination. He trained his ass off. People got to admit that. That boy trained hard, very hard. I salute him for his accomplishment and what he went out there and did. Can't take nothing away from Caleb Plant. He survived. He went through the struggle. They came out on top. They squashed it, but to me, Caleb Plant, the reason, and the power, people are not talking about the power of David Benavidez. Even though his punches come, he's not a one-hit wonder, a knockout artist like that. He comes with accumulation of punches. I think that his power, also played in a cause and effect in Caleb Plant's fall in that fight. And the lack of power for Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant had no power to keep Benavidez off. I didn't see a punch one time that hurt David Benavidez or stunned David Benavidez besides the low blow. So I think that was a big factor too, the lack of power for Caleb Plant. You know, may eventually, I think David Benavidez respected his skills, and as more than anything, not his power. So he was just pacing himself, just looking for the skills. And when he seen that, or he was getting hit with them jabs and stuff, and it wasn't hurting, that's when he was like, "No, I'm finna go and take him out. I gotta go and take him out." But that was a good fight though. Shout out to both of them. Can't take nothing away from Caleb Plant. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, David Benavidez proved that heart and determination, is the will, and the will to win can beat anything. That he didn't prove that. That's been a known factor, but he proved it once again to the world. To anybody who went with Caleb Plant like I did, you can't be mad at yourself. You went with skills. To me, David Benavidez wasn't a very skillful fighter. I slept on his defense. I will admit that. I slept on his athleticism. I will admit that. I think David Benavidez can actually move around the ring if he decided to with footwork. I didn't know he was that athletic. I seen when he was moving back from punches. He does have fast feet as well. To talk about the Chris Colbert fight, Chris Colbert, do a lot of talking. Came to 135, got knocked down again. Now he's saying going back to 130. I think he felt the power of a 135 pounder, and I think he know he don't want to go in there and with them sharks up there. I didn't see that fight. I didn't see a highlight of that fight, so I really can't go into it. People were saying that Chris Colbert came back in the later rounds. I don't know, but can't the robbery is wrong. Saying if Rollo won that fight, they should have gave it to Rollo. But what they call PBC, pure black boxing champions. And maybe Al Heyman, probably looked out for him, gave him a Christmas gift. But he ain't finna stay at 135, so he ain't really looking for no challenges. Him wanting to fight Hector Garcia, I don't know why he want to go back and go and do that. I think he should stay at 135 and try to stay there and try to do something with himself. Basically running from 135, just let y'all know, Chris ain't about what he be talking about. You said you was going to move up to 135 like you was going to do something. You actually lost, the people say, because I didn't see it. And now you're running back to 130. Chris Colbert, I like what he does with the awareness when he color his hair for different awareness and stuff. Not a hater of Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert is a talented fighter. I think he lacks power. Honestly, to be honest with you, since I think he lacked that power like that, and you see that he's not really as defensive as everyone thinks, he needs to stay at 130. I think he'll get destroyed at 135, especially against the headliners at 135. He needs to stay at 130. As far as David Benavidez and Canelo, I don't think Canelo is going to fight David Benavidez still, because David proved that your skills ain't going to stop me from coming. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in my opinion, Canelo will not fight David Benavidez without eating meat again. You know what I'm saying? If you get what I'm saying. And I think he just needs to really just stay clear of Canelo. Because I think Canelo gonna do anything to win that fight. He the so-called face of boxing. He the money man. You know what I'm saying? Going into that fight, ain't no telling what Canelo will be able to get away with. And I ain't hating on Canelo. I'm not knocking Canelo. I think Canelo gonna cheat all day. He gonna do stipulations in the contract for David Benavidez. I love to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think David Benavidez should chase him like that. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez right now, he can go after a lot of names out there. Canelo should want to fight him. The man been a mandatory for a minute. I wouldn't go out there screaming Canelo name. I would make Canelo Alvarez look bad by not fighting me. There'll be a notch on his legacy. Canelo Alvarez should come out and say, I'm ready to fight David Benavidez. If he doesn't, move on to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Just move on to the next person. You don't necessarily have to chase Canelo when you've been a mentor. People already know what's up now. You see what I'm saying? Now, people have confusion between the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford situation about who ducking who. But between you and Canelo, we know clearly who's ducking. And it's going to tarnish his legacy. So don't chase him. Replace him. Don't chase him. Replace him. You know, and that's all I had to really say about this. You know, I just wanted to get on and speak my 2 cents to admit that I was wrong. You know, I'm a man. You know, my prediction. You know, I thought that skills paid the bills, but heart and determination sometimes can come out and win fights. You know what I'm saying? And David Benavidez did that and achieved that. So shout out to David. You know, I saw the Joey Spencer clip too. Joey Spencer, ooh. And he said he asked for that fight. He shouldn't have asked for that fight. That boy was, ooh, Joey Spencer. But, you know, respect to him. You know what I'm saying? He go out there and he put himself on the line. You know, guy can't do nothing but respect Joey Spencer for doing that. And, you know, that was a good night of boxing. Hopefully we're going to see more on April 22nd. I can't wait for that fight. You know what I'm saying? And I just thank y'all for tuning in and just understand easy work. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to work. You see me with my vest on. You know, but I love the sport of boxing, man. I'm going to keep it, you know what I'm saying, real and 100 with y'all always. This Easy Work Boxing, I'm out. Thank y'all for y'all time.